Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to create a print file using Adobe Illustrator. So we open up Illustrator, we go to File, New. This is where you pick all the specs for your project. I believe the default is pixels. When you're working with something that's going to be printed, you usually want to go to inches. This is where you'll put the dimensions of the piece. So for example, a 6x11 postcard, I'm going to do 11 inches wide, 6 inches high, and since it is going to print, I want to add bleed, so you can just hit the up arrow. It'll automatically add an 1/8 inch to each one of these. That's the standard for printing. And then click OK. And you can see it's kind of expanded a little too big. I'm just going to bring it down, move that over a little bit. Now, one of the first things I do when I'm creating a project in Illustrator is on a Mac, I hit Command R, and that brings up the rulers here. It's always helpful to know where you're at when you're working on this project. So that's one of the first things I do. And then sometimes, depending on what this project is going to do, like for example a postcard, I need to have a mailing panel kind of blocked out using some guides. So what you'll do is you'll click somewhere on the ruler here and just click and drag and move this guide over to where you want it. I'm going to move this to I think 6.5 here. You can see it's dark blue. If you click off of it, it's this like cyan light blue. You can always select it and move it. If you're ever having trouble moving it, it's probably because your guides are locked. So you go to View, Guides, and either lock, and now you can't move it, or if you go to View, Guides, and uncheck that, then you can move it around again. What I like to do, sometimes it doesn't get exactly precisely where I want it, so I'll select it, and I'll go to Transform here. And if you don't have the transform up, just go to Window and click the Transform tab here, and that'll open up this window. So what you can see is the X and the Y axis on this. I wanted this to be exactly 6.5 inches over. You can see it's 6.4954. Probably not a big deal because it's just slightly off, but I want to make it precise, so I'll type in 6.5 and hit enter, and now this line will be exactly 6.5 inches over. Also, I want to make a vertical one, so I'm going to drag this down to, let's see, 4 inches, and you can see the same thing again. It's not exactly 4, so I'm just going to select the Y coordinate here, and hit 4 and hit enter. And now I have a nice guide set up here. So that's kind of like to separate this as a mailing panel. And just for an example, I'm going to show you, I'm going to drag this out, just make a box here, and just fill it with some color. Make one more box here. Maybe fill this with a little different color. Oops. So now this is just kind of a really rough outline of what a postcard might look like, and make sure you have enough space here for the mailing, the address to go. So what I'm going to do, just to show you how a address would normally be set up, I'm going to type something here. Just make up some information. Move that